sometimes the advantage is not in how hard you can accelerate, but actually how late you can brake. Drive fast, brake last.
Hi, and welcome to Helping You Perform. I'm your host, Paul Teasdale. Over a career working with high-performing teams from across the globe, including 7 years working with Formula One team McLaren, I've learned a lot about what it takes to drive results. In this weekly podcast series, I'm going to be bringing you tips, tricks, and insights from the world of Formula One that you can apply for your organisation for your own high performance. Enjoy.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Helping You Perform, where I bring my tips, tricks, insights, and stories from the world of Formula One and beyond to help you accelerate your own performance. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode 73, where I talked about this amazing phrase, go beyond. So this was taking inspiration from the awesome Patrick Cowden, who I spoke to on the Helping People Perform podcast. If you haven't had a listen to last week's episode or that episode with Patrick Cowden, I do encourage you to go back and have a listen to that. You won't regret it. So continuing on this theme then of phrases that really epitomise high performance and inspire high performance, and particularly focusing on this element of accelerating your career. I'm going to talk to you about a phrase that I came across with an amazing company that I've been working with, been a client of mine for the last year or so, and that's a company called Orthene. Now, Orthene are a specialist manufacturer of brake fluids, and they provide the brake fluids for most of the big names that are out there who are providing brake fluids to everything from your standard cars all the way through to Formula One cars and all sorts of other race series as well. Now, recently, they launched their own product called Halo by Orthene. And the tagline that goes along with Halo has really been, for me, something that's been inspirational when it comes to thinking about performance. And that tagline is drive fast, brake last. I love this because it talks not only about the fact that you've got to drive fast, you've got to get your machine, your car going as fast as you possibly can. Sometimes the advantage is not in how hard you can accelerate, but actually how late you can brake. Now, when it comes to the world of F1 and other motor racing, you think about this: if you're the last braking into the corner and you can trust your brakes and trust the brake fluids and all the mechanics that go along with that, you can eke out that last millisecond of advantage by being the person who brakes last. And I'd love to think about these phrases and how they apply elsewhere and what you can do to apply them to your own business or indeed your own self, your team, your organization. And I was talking to somebody recently about this very phrase, drive fast, brake last. Now, what would it mean if you are a business who, you're against your competition, you're performing really well, and maybe there's a change in the environment? Maybe there's a legislative change, maybe there's a competitor that's come on board, maybe something else in the environment has changed. Whilst you're driving fast and pushing your machine as hard as you can, actually, there's often an advantage in eking out the last bit of performance before that change comes into play. So in the world of COVID, for instance, when things were happening there, actually the last person to keep on producing up to that very last moment, before you are shut down, they're going to eke out some extra stock that they can sell and then sell on at an advantage. Maybe it's a particular program of work that you're doing where you can keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And actually, you might want to just start, we're just going to stop slowing down, and we're not going to train as many people on this program, or we're not going to do as much with it. So let's start slowing down. But actually, what advantage would it be if you could keep pushing all the way to the last minute and eke out as much value as you possibly can up until that final moment? So I love this phrase, drive fast and brake last. And what Orthene have done here is they've created a product that is epitomizing that high performance motorsport element and actually brings in this ethos of how can you get something that is a commodity product like a brake fluid and eke out that extra bit of advantage so that your team, your car, your organization can have that value up to the very last minute and ultimately gain and overtake your competitors. So I want you to think about that this week. How does that phrase, drive fast, brake last, apply to you, your team, your organization? And what can you do if you're the one who brakes last in that situation that you find yourself in? As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you want to find out more about Halo by Orthene, by the way, go to halobyorthene.com. As always, I'll put the links down below. They've got a great story, some amazing content. And yeah, do contact me with what this means to you, how you're applying this thinking, and what this whole series, never mind this particular phrase, but this whole series can mean to you, yourself, and your organization, so that you can be the one who's accelerating your performance by driving fast and braking last. I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Helping You Perform podcast. If you found value in this episode, please take a moment to like, share, or review the podcast. You can reach out to me at any time, either through LinkedIn or through my website at www.paulteasdale.co.uk. I look forward to speaking to you in the next episode.